What's going on, baby?
We just got our COVID test.
Just stop crying. Woo.
Joe and Jolene are getting theirs too. They'll be out in just a sec.
Yep.
We get our results in 2 hours.
2 hours.
Um,
It was not easy getting a test here in Portugal. Partially our fault. We didn't schedule a test, so we're kind of scrambling around all these different pharmacies.
and with the new Omicron variant, they're very strict on getting the test within 24 hours of leaving. That's why we didn't schedule anything, because we were waiting to see what the new updates would be. We are leaving in less than 24 hours, which is kind of sad, but we're kind of ready.
I'm ready. I mean, we went after this trip. I mean, it was
no downtime. It's been kind of exhausting, but it's been fun.
After it. We didn't miss a beat, so.
We are going to go have some lunch. We have to check into our flights, and then that's kind of it. We're kind of just touring around. I don't need anything here.
Come on, get in here. How was the swab test for you guys?
We just had a COVID test. Oh.
My eyes are watering.
So.
Coffee.
It was hard,
It
right?
makes me cough.
Yeah.
Well, I think she went deeper than they did in Italy.
Yeah.
Really, they didn't go that far, but she went way up in here.
So anyway, gonna go get something to eat, and then we'll check back in. Sound good? What's going on, baby?
We just watched a video. Anna made us both almost fall asleep, so I'm actually really tired.
Yeah, so we're in the Carmo convent, and it's if you've seen images of Lisbon, I'm sure it's in it. It's kind of like the fancy church on the hill, and it doesn't have a roof, so the roof fell off in the 1755 earthquake. In fact, I think like a lot of it actually fell off, more than just the roof, but you know,
they started reconstructing it in 1756, then they stopped the reconstruction in 1864.
Yeah, so who
church
knows?
Orders. I don't know.
Yeah,
we were
so
watching this
who knows
video
what
on it,
happened.
but I was like dozing off.
Yeah, it was like a very tranquil room, and it was half in Portuguese, half in English. I was almost going to fall asleep. The person sitting next to us fell asleep, as an example. So anyway, we're just hanging out here. It's one of the few things we didn't get to do when we were in Lisbon the first time. So now we've done it. It's very cool. The sun kind of poked out today. If we can walk over here real quick. You can see that's so.
It's very cool. It's beautiful. The
Yeah,
inside of
it
it
is
is
really cool.
absolutely beautiful.
It was pictures of that in the video. Really cool artwork, and then there were like mummies. I didn't quite understand that section. They like had
It's a
mummies.
museum, so I think that they're they have some other things on it. I think it had to do with some of the people who were probably funding the museum, probably put it on as like an exhibit.
Yep. So future plans for today: dinner, probably the arch, and then maybe a recap of the trip video. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. What's going on, baby?
We just packed, and I'm going to take a shower in a minute. Probably wash my hair. It's going to take a while.
This is the last video. And so, this is like the section of these things that you don't see, I guess, right? Travel is not easy. My mom wanted me to describe this. They're not in this video, obviously. There were the COVID tests we had to do today, and the packing, the flights are never easy. And so, it's the last video. The hard part, yeah. So we didn't do much today. We did go to the convent, which you saw. But other than that, we went out to dinner. We kind of hung out, and that's it. On stuff like this, I feel like we don't get much sleep a lot of times.
We don't get much sleep like ever. Yeah, we've had a couple weeks of very little sleep. It's been go, but it's been fun. So
yeah,
it's been worth it. I'm excited to go home and sleep in our bed.
Definitely. A lot of times on these trips, I'm like, oh man, I'm so sad to go back. But I feel like we just did everything that we could have possibly wanted to do, So it's, and with that said, I think we want to do just a quick ranking of our favorite things that happened. So I know it might be tricky, what was your favorite restaurant that you ate at?
Well, actually, yesterday in Porto, I had a fabulous dinner. I don't know if it was my favorite, but it was the most recent favorite. It was so good. It was fabulous. I had duck and some prawns, and I don't know. It was yummy. So I'd say that.
I've been thinking about this, and my mom mentioned this, and I think she's onto something. The most iconic dinner, I want to say, was we went to the restaurant where the guy that invented fettuccine alfredo, that restaurant, and they make the fettuccine alfredo tableside. It was just
very
so
memorable,
cool, right? So cool. Like, I'll never forget.
Actually, that fettuccine alfredo was so good. However, Jolyn, and I ordered fried shrimp and calamari on the side of the fettuccine alfredo. And I'll have to say, their fettuccine alfredo was great. Their everything else was not. So,
yeah.
But that was really good.
So that's the other thing too, the dinners are so hit and miss. And I feel like ultimately we got very, very lucky at a lot of the restaurants that we went. It's like kind of an awkward thing. You go into places, there's a language barrier, but I would say we got very lucky.
And a lot of restaurants and like really touristy places aren't the greatest. But we got some really great restaurants, I'd say.
Oh yeah. And then what was your favorite little tour or attraction that we saw?
Well, being in Portugal for the second time, as much as I absolutely love it, I didn't have the same like awe factors when we first got here.
I agree. Yeah.
A couple years ago, but it's been amazing. But I have to say, I was really impressed with the Giant's Causeways.
Incredible, yeah.
In Ireland.
Northern
They were
Ireland,
really cool. And then obviously the Vatican, the Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter's Basilica.
Yeah.
So that was really, really cool. The Colosseum was amazing, but I'd say the Vatican City was probably the coolest for me. Coolest new experience, let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's so hard for me to pick between Vatican, Colosseum, and Giant's Causeway. I would say our tour of the Vatican and like how it was so packed, like there were so many people, and then it started to rain and everybody left. And then we just like had the whole little square to ourselves. I guess that someone's screaming outside. We had the whole square to ourselves, so it was like so incredible. But then at the same time, there was something about the Colosseum where you're like, whoa, this is like wild to be in here. Like, how the way, and also I thought it was cool. We might have already mentioned this, but the fact that like real like stadiums after the fact, like many were designed after the Colosseum, like with the way the seating works and everything. And then in terms of the Giant's Causeway, it's just
Right.
Dang. It's been a long trip. So we're 5 minutes into this thing right now. We hope you guys enjoyed all the videos, all the memories.
Yeah. I'd say my favorite like town though on the whole trip was Porto because it's probably my favorite.
Beautiful town. I'll argue with that.
In general, it's been a lot. We flew here. We were supposed to fly in a direct flight. We ended up having 2 layovers. One layover. Joe and Jolene had 2 layovers. So we also flew to Italy, and we didn't tell you guys about this before. But
we got to mention this.
We were supposed to take a COVID test before we arrived to Italy, and we didn't know. And they almost didn't let us in. But luckily, the person who was working in customs or whatever, she was, I don't even understand. She was like, you can just go.
She was like, today though, you're like okay to go. We were technically supposed to quarantine
for
all
5 days.
In
the
Rome.
whole 5 days we were supposed to be there. So,
and as you know, you watched the 5 days. We did not quarantine in Rome.
But we didn't have COVID because we did get tested and we were negative.
We got tested multiple times on the trip and we are negative.
So, including today, we've gotten tested and we're negative.
And we didn't want to mention this while we were in Rome. As if these videos are popular enough to like hit the web.
We're like all 40 views that we have, someone's going to tell like Italian Border Patrol.
The Italian Border Patrol, and then we're going to get like arrested or something. So anyway, the trips in the books, I was super fulfilled. I'm sure you are as well. My parents, it's a fantastic trip. Wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And that's it, This is the end of the road for this trip. Normally I'd be sad, like I said, but it's been so fulfilling to do all this sort of stuff.
Sorry if this was a sleepy, boring video. I don't even know if you're still watching, but
of course they're still watching. Are you gonna do the honors on the last video?
Of course.
Okay.